On this episode of MythBusters,
Jamie, don't jump. You have so much to live for.
Adam and Jamie take out the trash
Those things will get you. Ow.
as they test the movie myth of a dumpster diving escape
A perfect hit.
and find out if legging it after a trash landing is legit.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Carrie, Tori, and Grant go off the deep end with a ye olde diving myth.
Time to go diving.
Could an air supply failure up top
You're kidding me, this is working?
spell a spectacular squeeze and certain death down below? Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage
I feel perfectly normal.
and Jamie Heineman.
Pain is your friend.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience. Joining them, Grant Imahara, Carrie Byron,
And I'm starting to get the idea that this shouldn't be done inside.
Tori Belleci, and featuring Jesse Combs.
That was awesome!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. First up, Adam and Jamie dive into a film fable.
So I hear you have a movie myth for us.
I do, Old Bean. It seems that within the logic of an action movie, any building can be escaped from by handily jumping into a dumpster parked next to it. Hop out, dust yourself off, and walk away unharmed.
Well, that sounds like rubbish.
It's an action movie cliche. After a roof runaround with nowhere else to go, a dive into a dumpster equals a guaranteed getaway. But can you really get up and go every time after a trash landing?
So how's this gonna go down?
Well, I figured that any line of investigation we pursue is ultimately, hopefully, going to end with one of us leaping into a dumpster. So, first things first, I think we need to be trained how to fall safely. I think we need to call one of the stuntmen we know to teach us.
Well, I guess it's time to jump right in, huh?
All right.
Yep, this myth can only end one way, with an actual dumpster dive. And to make sure our MythBusters will live to bust another day, it's off to Treasure Island for Stunt Falling 101.
So in our ongoing training to be action movie heroes, we are about to learn how to take a high fall safely. And this is the building we're going to start with.
This is the airbag that's gonna break our fall.
And this
Is the guy that's gonna train us.
That's Randy Lamb, stunt coordinator and fall guy.
is cool in here.
As Jamie said, they're not starting on the dumpsters just yet. First, there's this.
How does this airbag work, you ask? Well, it's called a two-stage airbag, and it works thusly. The first stage, this top part, slows you down by popping, by opening through this very portal that I climbed out of. The second stage, that bottom layer, stops you. It does not deflate.
And that's key, because the name of this game is deceleration. Like they say, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. A jump from a height onto a hard surface will bring you to a stop very quickly. And it's this sudden impact that is potentially fatal. But landing on a soft surface maximizes deceleration, dissipating impact over a longer time, reducing the risk of injury.
Randy, falling 101, what do we have to know?
When you jump, you want to make sure that you land flat on your back and use up as much volume as possible.
Awesome. Can we get started?
Sure. Who wants to go
Me.
first?
I want to go first. Is that okay if I go first? Can I go first? Is that cool?
All right, follow me.
Unsurprisingly, Adam is falling over himself to get started.
Less is more. Yeah, it's a lot higher now, isn't it?
All right, here we go.
But at a height of 13 feet, getting the technique right is vital.
Place your left foot right here.
All right.
Now, you're going to take one giant step out and lay back just like you were laying into a recliner.
I start like this and then just kick one leg.
Just gently step right on out.
Okay.
And then pick your feet up. I want you to keep your chin down when you're ready.
Okay.
Perfect.
Wow. That's cool.
And if at first you succeed, why not go again, and again, and again?
It looked like you did it perfectly.
With that out of his system,
That was awesome.
Don't look now, but there's a Heineman on the roof of that building, and I think he's gonna jump.
Jamie, don't jump. You have so much to live for.
Remember, Jamie, spirit fingers.
So, you know, it's a little bit of a jolt, but it works.
Much better. Excellent.
That beret jumping with you action was really awesome.
Jamie and his beret soon have the fall down too, which means
I think you guys have both got this height down.
Awesome, because I want to go higher. Can we go higher?
Let's go.
yep, it's as easy as moving the airbag to a new location. Or is it?
Well, we're about to bump it up a notch, and make no mistake, when you're looking down at that bag, there's a pretty big difference between 13 feet and 20 feet. The stakes just went up, and so did my adrenaline level.
And this time, Jamie's drawn the short straw to jump first.
How do you feel about this?
There's something wrong about doing this when you really don't like heights, you know?
I can tell you this is the fastest and easiest way down. Perfect.
How you feeling?
That was no worse than the smaller one.
Cool, my turn.
So, you gonna do a flip for us?
Absolutely, two, actually.
But while Adam might be confident on the ground, from a height of 2 stories, things look a little different.
So you feel confident with this?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
You're sure?
Yeah, well, you know, as confident as I can be.
Perfect. Perfect.
Nice job.
How'd that feel?
Felt great.
And now that both the guys have mastered the art of falling from a great height, they can get their hands dirty.
I think I'm getting this down.
I think you are.
What's next?
You're gonna love this.
Now from high diving to deep sea diving.
Before the days of scuba diving, divers would go down in those old suits with those brass helmets, just like this, right?
Sure.
They would pressurize their suit using a compressor on a boat at the surface.
To counteract the external water pressure.
Exactly.
Well, that sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
And that's what this myth is about. If that compressor were to stop or the air hose would get cut, that diver would come to a grisly end.
Yeah, without the high pressure air helping to keep the suit inflated, it would simply crush under the weight of all the water.
That's right, and the pressure would change so suddenly, it would be so dramatic that it would literally squish the diver into the helmet.
Sick. I love it.
Yep, according to this macabre maritime myth, early deep-sea diving suits had a flaw, whereby a failure in the air supply could cause a drastic depressurization. But could the pressure differential really put the squeeze on an entire human body? Or is this a load of pulp fiction?
So how do we test this?
Well, ultimately, I think we need to build one of these suits, put a human analog in it, drop it to the bottom of the ocean, cut the line, and see what happens.
See if we get instant sausages.
Or whatever.
Okay, before we do all that, I think we need to do two things. We need to go talk to an expert, and we need to do a few proof of concept tests.
And at San Francisco Maritime National Historical Park, ex-Navy diver Mike Ward is just the expert Carrie needs.
What do you think? Have you heard this?
Oh, yeah. It's been talked about for many years. Whether or not the whole body would go up there, I don't think so, but I think it'd be pretty dramatic.
So what kind of diving were these suits used for?
They were used for salvage diving, mariculture diving, sea harvesting, construction. They were used for virtually every kind of diving. This was the very first real type of commercial diving suit.
How deep do they go?
Down to 300 feet on average.
300 feet is quite a depth, but as Mike explains how the suit works, there's one feature that's troubling Carrie: the non-return valve.
The valve only allows air to come in one direction. In the event that the hose gets cut, the pressure differential automatically forces the valve shut. It doesn't allow anything to go up the umbilical.
You need a dive suit without a non-return valve for this myth to be possible.
I would test it as though the non-return valve wasn't working right. A lot of times divers wouldn't do the maintenance. The valve would get stuck and that would cause the failure.
So, according to our dive master, the particulars of this myth are positively plausible. Which means it's time to get down to business.
As always on MythBusters, we're gonna start out in the small scale. Basically, I'm gonna make a tiny little diver that we can do some experiments on and find out what kind of effect suction really is going to have and let us design our big experiment.
And as Carrie's voodoo diver takes shape, it's clear who the sacrificial mini-me will be.
The diver is becoming Little Grant.
God. Look, is that Brad Pitt? That's great. It's so beautiful. I love it.
Carrie's sculpture turned out great and it looks just like Grant. But in order to test the small scale, I need to turn this clay figure into a ballistics gel figure wearing a watertight diving suit. Now, the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna make a plaster mold of the sculpture. Hey, look at that. It's like Han Solo, frozen in carbonite. That way I'll have two halves of a mold that I can paint in latex and cloth. So that way it'll be both watertight and it'll be durable. Once the latex is dry, I'll put the two halves together and then I'll fill the whole thing up with ballistics gel. Once the ballistic gel sets, I'll be able to open up the mold and what I'll be left with is a mini Grant diver made out of ballistics gel in a watertight diving suit. Look at that. Look, his little suit's there.
It's loose on his body. That's perfect. It'll fill right up there.
All right, now let's see if we can get him out without ripping his head off.
And thanks to Tori's ingenuity, mini diver Imahara emerges perfectly formed inside a watertight diving suit.
It's a little diving Grant.
So creepy. Look at the skull.
So this is gonna be perfect. I gotta do a little bit of repair work on the seams, but we're good to go.
It's gonna work. All he needs is a helmet.
Which is exactly what his life-size namesake is working on.
Now this is an old-timey dive helmet similar to the one they describe in the myth, and I'm going to be simulating it using this clear acrylic. Now I've chosen this so that if we do in fact see a squeeze, like in the myth, that goes up into the helmet, we'll have a full 360 view so that we won't miss anything.
And the finishing touch? A gauge to keep an eye on the pressure inside the suit. Once they throw him in at the deep end. The MythBusters are taking a dive with the movie myth of a dumpster escape. And after a crash course in falling,
It's like your ass is one with the target.
they're ready to talk trash. According to Hollywood, any dumpster is a guaranteed getaway. But what exactly will you find inside one?
This looks like the place. Look at all these dumpsters. Now, we could have gone looking all over the city for dumpsters, but we've learned that they're creatures of habit, and they tend to conglomerate in the same place. So we've come to the natural habitat of the dumpster waste management facility, and we've got our pick to look through.
To find out if here in the real world, a dumpster is the soft landing this myth suggests.
If I worked in a dump, I would never get any work done. I'd be like, wait, maybe there's a Santa Claus sleeping under a palm tree in here somewhere. And that's cool.
Looks like all cardboard, but I see some wood and some rebar down there.
Rebar?
And after a savage scavenge, it's clear a fall into this dumpster will be anything but soft.
There's all wood under here. This dumpster is deadly.
So they move on to two more dumpsters picked at random.
All this blue stuff says to me hospital waste.
Yeah.
Kind of don't want to mess around with this one too much.
Yeah. You gave me the choice of jumping in to a dumpster full of hospital waste or dealing with the bad guys. I'm gonna think pretty carefully about dealing with the bad guys. Oh. Hey, that's kind of neat. Open cardboard boxes.
except again, there's this hidden stuff in there, like those pallets.
Plus, the deeper into the dumpster they dig,
You gotta aim away from the pallets. Those things will get you.
the worse the news.
This is clearly one of those situations where you can't judge a book by its cover. You're on top of the building looking down into the dumpster. It looks nice and soft, but you don't know what's underneath it. You could be in for a nasty surprise.
For soft landings, they're 0 for 3. But if any dumpster meets the cushioning criteria, Kevin Floyd will know about it.
Do you ever have dumpsters come in that just have a bunch of soft stuff inside?
Occasionally, but we get about 10 to 12,000 loads a year. Maybe 1 or 2 a month would come like that. What I can think of is items from a factory with foam. That'd be a nice soft loading. But for the most part, it's mostly mixed like what you've seen.
Well, I think our path is pretty clear.
Yeah, down.
So after their excursion to Dumpsterville, what have they learned?
Well, you know, jumping into any old dumpster's not a good idea. You never know what you're gonna get. I mean, it could be really dangerous. It's not looking good for the myth.
Yeah, but by the same token, you could get lucky. I mean, for all you know, you could be jumping into the dumpster of a pillow factory. I think we should narrow down the field to choose an ideal material, a best case scenario, and fall into that.
And see if it's possible.
Exactly.
Works for me.
And courtesy of garbage guru Kevin, they've assembled 4 likely suspects.
What we're gonna do with each of our materials is we're gonna put them in a stack, and I'm basically gonna jump on them. We'll use the high-speed camera to analyze my jumps, and for those of you playing at home, what we're looking for is the material that decelerates me the best, that slows my descent better than all of the others. That's the one we're gonna use for our final test.
First up, potential filler number 1.
Cardboard boxes. We've used them before on the show for safety, and they do crush. You find them everywhere in dumpsters, so they might be just the thing for our test.
Right. That wasn't as spectacular as I was afraid it would be.
It did collapse, and it did soften your landing, didn't it?
Certainly did.
And alternative number 2?
Shredded paper. Not supposed to be finding it in a dumpster because you're supposed to recycle it, but it could happen.
3, 2, 1.
Dumpster option number 3.
Packing peanuts. If they use them to protect objects inside a box from shock, they ought to work to protect us from shock. It's sort of a neater stack, but I don't know whether it's going to crush as much as the boxes did.
Well, let's see. Not bad, really.
And the final contender.
Foam rubber. Any place that makes upholstery products is going to have foam cutoffs. If it's good enough to sit on or sleep on, my guess is that it's good enough to jump into.
Ooh, that was nice.
That definitely compressed more.
It compressed more, it was a nice soft landing.
And after taking a look at the high speeds, it's clear the slowest landing was the foam. Compared to the other materials, it brought Adam to a stop in double the time, meaning it put the least impact on his body.
For my money, I think we're agreed it's the foam.
Yeah. Foam rubber's our winner. Not only did it give us the softest landing, but it seemed to be the most reliable, the least likely to kind of move out of our way when we jumped into it. So that's what we're going to be filling our dumpster with.
In this ye olde diving disaster myth, an air supply failure puts the squeeze on an entire diver. So could a mistake up top mean death down below? To find out, the team has found the perfect location. With an added bonus.
That is so cool.
And after their brush with the life aquatic, it's down to business.
We're at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in Vallejo, where they have a diving tank that's deeper than any pool we can find. So we figured this is the best place for us to do all of our small-scale testing.
We survived the trip.
Oh, cool, you painted him red.
Yeah, that way, if something does happen, we'll be able to see if his body does get sucked up into the helmet.
And it's a little more gory.
A little bit.
First things first, they check the rig for leaks.
His first dive.
See a few bubbles. Where are those coming from?
Leak under his armpit.
After a quick patch, mini diver Grant is watertight, so Tori follows suit.
All right.
Time to go diving.
To test this myth, Tori's going to take our diver down to the bottom of the pool. Grant and I are going to be at the top monitoring, shut down the compressor, see what happens.
Well, what should happen is a drastic pressure differential. As the diver descends, the compressed air counteracts the pressure of the water outside. However, when the air supply is cut, the balance is lost and the force of the water pushes in on the soft suit. But at only 15 feet under, will the water pressure be enough to squish the tiny diver into his helmet? The team is skeptical.
My feeling is, since the gelatin is the same density as water, since it's basically made up of water, I don't think we're gonna see much happen.
Even though the gelatin is much softer than the human body, I still have a really hard time believing that we're gonna get the kind of pressure it's gonna take to push the body up into the helmet. But that's why we do small-scale testing.
So to put the theory to the test,
Okay, pressurizing the suit.
Tori takes the diver to the deep end, and Carrie and Grant pull the proverbial plug.
Okay, compressor failure in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so the pressure on my side has gone to 0 immediately.
Air pressure is quickly squeezing the suit against the gelatin.
That's good, we know.
Now it's actually squishing body into the helmet.
You're kidding me, this is working?
It's squishing up all around his neck.
I can't believe this is working. His body is squishing into the helmet, I can see it.
Even at a depth of only 15 feet, the pressure differential squeezes mini diver Imahara like a tube of toothpaste.
Totally worked! It smashed the body into the helmet.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Look at his freaking ribcage.
And that incredible result has the team eating their words.
It worked! It actually worked. The water pressure was enough to compress the suit and squish the body into the helmet. Nobody expected that, but I love it when we're wrong.
Do you know what this is? It's a dive helmet full of gelatin body. And do you know what it means? It means that was a great result. We turned off the compressor and the whole body went right into the helmet exactly as the myth predicted.
I think we have a perfect proof of concept here. We could totally move on to the large scale.
I think you're right.
I'm calling it coolest small scale ever.
Totally.
Carrie, Tori, and Grant have put the squeeze on their ballistics gel diver.
We squished his stomach, and now it's stuck inside of his helmet.
But that was just the beginning.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I've always wanted to kiss a dolphin.
No, not that. The experiment.
Yeah, that was awesome. The second we turned off the compressor, the guy really did get squished.
Yeah, but you know, there is a big difference between human flesh and that gelatin. I mean, would that have really happened if we had a more flesh-like material?
Well, there's only one way to find out. We go full scale. Who's in?
I'm in.
Actually, no. As you can see, I'm about to bring a mini MythBuster into this world any moment now. So, I've got a replacement for you, and she's going to be great. But I'll see you guys in a few episodes.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye, Carrie. Good luck.
Hi, guys.
Whoa. What are you, a ninja?
Kinda. I'm Jessie.
Hi, Jessie.
Well, welcome aboard. I hope you don't get seasick.
Nah, I'm good. So what's the plan for the squeeze?
Well, we're gonna go full scale. And for that, we need a genuine Mark V dive suit. We're gonna take it all the way down to 300 feet.
Yeah, and considering no one wants to volunteer for this one, we're gonna make a human analog out of pork.
Sick.
Did Carrie warn you about some of the weird things we do on this show?
Yeah, maybe not this weird, but I'm in.
Cool.
Speaking of weird,
Now, in order to go full scale on this one, we're gonna need something more human-like. So I give you... Meat Man. Things are gonna get creepy around here.
actually, it's going to get creepy in a freezer truck.
So what I have here is a bunch of pork, which I've had the butchers keep the skin on. This is the meat that I'm gonna wrap around the plastic skeleton in order to make my meat man. Now, we've done some pretty gross things on this show. We've shot chickens out of chicken cannons, we've used a pig spine for a human spine and ceiling fan of death, and we even used a pig's stomach when we were testing Diet Coke and Mentos to see whether or not it would explode. But I have a feeling this is probably gonna be the grossest thing I've ever made.
This is gonna be so cool.
All right, this part might be a little gross.
But luckily for our squeamish viewers, that ain't the only way they're making this test more authentic.
This is an honest-to-goodness commercial dive helmet, just like the one on the Myth. I'm gonna clean up the viewport so we can see inside, change out the valves, and we should be good to go. A little help?
Modifications complete, Grant puts the entire ensemble together for a dry run. And to control the flow of air, he's whipped up this.
The idea with the manifold is that we are simulating cutting the line without actually physically cutting the line. The air from the compressor comes in through here, goes out to the suit here. When I want to simulate the cut, blow open the dump valve and everything goes whoosh. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to cut off the main air supply and put on my ear protection. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Barely a breeze, but that's exactly what's supposed to happen, right, Grant?
1 second. Well, it is venting, which is good news. I think the thing is, there wasn't much pressure in there to begin with, only maybe 5 psi, and the pressure on the outside is 0. It's just regular atmospheric pressure. So, when we get down to 300 feet, there'll be a tremendous amount of pressure on the outside pushing in to exhaust us. Hopefully that will generate the squeeze that we're looking for.
Absolutely, because although there's no pressure acting on the suit topside, at 300 feet below the surface, there'll be 135 pounds of water pressure per every square inch. That's the theory, but how are they going to film the experiment 300 feet under?
All right, now Light in Motion has hooked us up with these state-of-the-art underwater camera housings so we can capture all of the action. Now it's my job to make sure that all of them are mounted safely and securely, which is gonna require a little bit of welding and some modifications.
As well as the cameras, the cage will secure the diver for his descent into the deep.
Bad piece of cross member.
And while Jesse welds, Tori has spent far too much time alone in the ice truck.
It's alive! Meat Man is almost done. Okay, I know what you're saying. He's looking a little freaky. And there's probably a bunch of you out there saying, why in the heck are you doing this? Why are you sewing a bunch of meat together on a skeleton? Are you trying to freak us out? Well, no, what I'm trying to do is make a human analog. With this, I have actual muscle tissue, I have fat, I have skin. I mean, this is as close to using a human being without actually using a human being. So, if I'm freaking a few of you out, I'm sorry. Science isn't always pretty.
Not pretty, but Meat Man will be the best possible human analog for the test.
I present to you my creation, Meat Man! Ooh, almost threw up. That's gross.
And while he stays on ice, a similar-sized stand-in
Okay in there?
steps up to test Jesse's cage rig.
Oh, yeah, like a cage dancer, yeah.
Dancing aside, if the cage can support Grant's weight,
Lift your legs. All right, let's get the bats, man. We got a Imahara pinata. I think that's great.
there'll be no escape at 300 feet for Meat Man.
Should we go lunch?
Yeah. Good job.
Okay, get me out of here.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, totally not cool. So not cool. So not cool.
Dumpster diving. It's a convenient cliche. The good guy always jumps, lands, and makes his getaway. But that's not looking likely.
So, dumpster diving Hollywood style. We know that you can survive a fall from a reasonably high height if you've got the right technique and your landing is soft enough. But after rooting around in 3 random dumpsters at the dump, we failed to find them consistently full of soft enough stuff for a safe landing.
Ow.
However, after some scale tests here in the shop, we have chosen an ideal material to fill our dumpster with, and soon we're going to find out if you can survive a fall. into this.
We know it's safe to fall into an airbag, but we don't know whether it's safe to fall into a dumpster. That's where Buster comes in.
But wait, we're not at that point in the story yet. First, we need a safety control.
Which is why we're putting accelerometers all over Buster.
These accelerometers will yield for us a graphical representation of Buster's deceleration into the airbag. And it is this graph against which we'll compare Buster's dumpster dive to make sure it's safe.
Buster's living up to his name as a trash test dummy.
Now, I have a plan.
By finding out the deceleration of a safe fall into an airbag.
Thank goodness he's got an innie and not an outie, huh?
Then they'll compare the accelerometer data with his dive into a dumpster full of foam. And to make sure he's comfortable on the way down,
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish I was like James Heineman, but I don't know where to begin? Well, I'll tell you. The secret is it's all in a good night's sleep. And for the first time ever, James Franklin Heineman, star of stage and screen, both big and small, is willing to share his secret to a good night's sleep with the rest of the world. For only 6 easy payments of $39.95, you will receive all the equipment and guidebooks necessary to implement Jamie's controversial WellSleep 6000 program and siesta your way to success and immortality.
okay. And with the accelerometers in position, Buster is hoisted to 20 feet to take his dive.
You ready for this?
Ready when you are.
All right. Okay, safety control. Dummy into airbag. 3, 2, 1. A perfect hit.
Works for me.
Nice work, Buster.
Okay, go ahead and hook her up. Let's see what we got.
And it figures that the figures are good.
The accelerometers work like a charm, and this graph right here is a safe drop into the airbag.
Let's hope we get the same thing out of the dumpster, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, now the MythBusters have the data for a safe landing.
Buster registered 11.4 Gs on that test. A G is 1 Earth's gravity, so that means that Buster weighed 11.4 times as much as he normally does when the airbag stopped. Now, we know that you can get up and walk away from a jump like that. What we need to know now is how this compares to our best case scenario, jumping into a dumpster full of foam.
This is our dumpster. It's empty right now, but soon we're gonna fill it full of the softest stuff that we've been able to find, and Buster's gonna jump into it to make sure it's okay for us. Oh, God, be yourself.
R2, I need you to shut down all the compactors on the detention level.
Great.
If you got to jump into a dumpster, this right here would be what you'd call a best case real world scenario.
But is it a best case scenario that you could walk away from? If Buster doesn't survive a fall into this movie myth is busted.
Data collection, dummy into foam in 3, 2, 1. That looks like it's viable.
And a closer look at the data backs Adam up.
The foam resulted in 9.9 Gs.
Wow, it's effectively the same, even a little more gentle with the foam.
Yep, from 20 feet, Buster's impact into the foam was 1.5 Gs fewer than his fall into the airbag, meaning that the foam actually worked better to maximize his deceleration and keep him from injury.
I'm pretty impressed with the foam. I'd say that that is a survivable fall.
Maybe even comfortable, and the data backs it up.
Can I be the one to do the jump? Can I do the jump in here?
You don't have some kind of a costume, do you?
Yeah, I do.
I thought so.
Can I do it?
Knock yourself out.
Yes!
In the days before scuba, if you wanted to descend into the deep, suits like these were your only option. But according to this myth, they came with a deadly drawback. So to put the squeeze on this deep sea saga,
All right, let's get some meat on these bones.
Tori, Grant, and Jesse are turning up the pressure.
All right, camera mounts, check. Diving helmet mounts, check.
300-foot umbilical, check. Dive suit, check. Helmet, check.
And finally, Meat Man is done. Now it's time to take all these things out to the ocean, take them down 300 feet, and find out whether or not Meat Man will get the squeeze.
So to do that, it's off to Santa Cruz Harbor, where the experts from North Coast Divers will take them out to sea.
So, are we good to go?
We are. Conditions are perfect.
But before they test the waters, the Wizard of Odd has to give Meat Man a heart.
Now, since the chest is the only thing that is compressible on a human being, especially in this experiment, it's important that we have something inside the chest cavity. Right now, it's hollow. So what we need to do is fill him up with some kind of organs, guts, blood, so that way, if we do get that squeeze, we'll be able to see it come shooting into the helmet. Woo-hoo! That is ripe. So I have some hearts, I got some livers, I have some fake blood. I'm gonna fill up this chest, sew them back up, and then we can get them into the suit. I have no idea what that is, but it's going in.
With a complete set of organs, he's now the closest thing to a human possible.
All we need now is a lightning bolt, and he's gonna have a new best friend, Dr. Frankenstein.
It's Porkenstein.
Monster or not, they couldn't test this myth without him.
I think we might have found our new buster.
Meat Man really puts the meat in team.
How many MythBusters does it take to get Meat Man in a diving suit?
Finally, it's out to the open ocean with Meat Man safe inside his suit, at least for now.
I hope the second we put Meat Man in the water, that the sharks around here don't smell him and come running. If that's the case, Meat Man could turn into Chum Man.
If you see any sharks, play dead.
And once they're in deep enough water...
Hey, Jim, how we doing? Are we almost there?
We're in 300 feet of water right now. We've got lots of deep water behind us. When we drift that way, we're ready to go.
Preparation for launch begins.
Yeah.
Beauty.
Now, it's not as simple as just hanging Meat Man over the side of the boat and letting him drop to 300 feet. As he makes his descent, the pressure pushing in on the suit goes up by 0.445 psi every foot. So in order to compensate for that, I'm gonna have to add air in through this hose and push back out. Now, I've calibrated this gauge to the approximate psi that I need versus the depth.
Okay, so we're not relying completely on Grant's math. We have a live video feed from an ROV that's going to be traveling around the cage, and we also have a live link from a camera that's already mounted on the cage as well. So if the suit inflates too much or too little, we should be able to see everything very easily from sitting right here.
Indeed, with only one shot at this myth, the MythBusters aren't taking any chances.
Okay, watch those cables over there.
Hold it.
Drop it.
All right,
okay.
let's drop it.
Okay.
And Meat Man is in the water.
Bye-bye, Meat Man. Say hello to Davy Jones.
Let's go maybe 30 feet at a time just to see what happens.
With cameras rolling, the diver is painstakingly lowered into the drink to meet his deep-sea fate.
What's your depth, Jesse?
31 feet.
Copy that.
But as they monitor his slow descent, the team is skeptical of a full-body squeeze.
I honestly think that there's going to be some juices flowing, but I don't think it's going to suck the skin off his bones.
I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I think it's going to be fairly slow because there's 300 feet of line that the air has to exhaust through. I don't think the whole body's going to come up. I mean, there's a lot of meat down there. I don't think all of that's going to come in the helmet.
If my calculations are correct, we're almost a third of the way down.
Looks like we are right on 200 feet.
2/3 of the way down, and everything is going according to plan.
How's he holding up?
Yes, looks good so far.
235 feet, and it's getting really dark. Thank God we got all those lights all over the place.
Okay, that's 300 feet.
Okay, stop the cage.
At that depth, there's 135 pounds of water pressure pressing on every square inch of the diving suit. The only thing keeping the water at bay is the compressed air. So will cutting the air supply lead to a spectacular squeeze? There's only one way to find out.
All right, you guys, how's the suit holding?
It's looking great, and we are at 300 feet.
Yes. All right, let's do it. Ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
The MythBusters have the drop on dumpster diving. And now that Buster has taken the fall,
It looks so comfortable, doesn't it?
it's Adam's turn. But he's no dummy. If he falls short or hits the metal sides, his stuntman career is over. Even if he does have the costume.
Now that I've graduated from stunt trainee to stuntman, I figured the occasion deserved a costume appropriate. And after a few hours of web surfing, I put this together. Actually, I already had a few of these pieces at home.
But while Adam has wasted no time adopting the action hero persona, can he live up to it?
Moment of truth, huh?
Yep.
You ready?
I am. It actually looks like it's going to be fun.
Well, just remember, this is about a chase scene. So when you hit the foam, you can't just lie there. You got to get up and take off.
That's great. Absolutely. I will do precisely that. That makes it even more fun.
More fun and more complicated. Remember, this is all about deceleration. The principle is that the foam will bring Adam to a stop gradually, meaning he comes out injury-free. But so far, that's just a theory. A miscalculation here could spell disaster.
Our jump height is 20 feet. Now, that may not sound like a whole lot, but that's a 2-story house. And if you jump that without something soft to catch you, you're going to be going so fast that you're going to have some serious damage.
It's a long way down. And, I mean, although we've eliminated any washing machines or anvils in there, it is still just a dumpster full of garbage. I mean, I've been trained. I'm no longer as scared looking over this ledge as I once was. And the dummy says it's going to be safe. So, there's nothing to do now but go for broke.
Hey, Adam, when you come down, make sure you stick your hands out real wide. These are great handholds.
You are not a nice man. It's a long way down.
But there's no time to dwell on the danger, because it's lights, camera, and action.
Getting my gun out.
Eat your heart out, Hollywood. Adam nailed the dumpster dive. And as he makes his getaway, he'll live to see another day.
Hey.
So how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Fingers all there, everything all right?
Yeah, a little bit of an adrenaline rush, but it worked beautifully. It's actually a lot softer than the airbag.
Nice work.
Thank you.
And that, as they say, is a wrap.
It looks like you got the jumping thing down. I mean, your form is perfect.
Dude, that is so much fun. Not very action hero like this bit, is it?
Well, I think the call on this one's pretty clear.
Yep, it's plausible, as long as the contents of the dumpster are soft enough. But the thing is, you're not going to really know what's in there until it's too late.
Until it's way too late. Plausible, but not recommended. Let's get out of here.
You're good at dumpster diving, but not so good with the scissor lift.
5 miles off the coast of California, a very strange occurrence is going down.
We are about to find out whether or not this deep sea diving myth is true or not. Ever since I heard this story, I was like, how crazy is this? That this deep sea diver is down 300 feet. He loses the pressure in his suit, and he actually gets squeezed and sucked up into his helmet.
The MythBusters have lowered their diver into the murky deep,
200 feet.
making sure that the air pressure inside the suit is equal to the water pressure surrounding it.
All right, we are exactly 50 feet away from our final destination.
But that's all about to change.
Okay, that's 300 feet.
Okay, stop the cage. We have Meatman safely at 300 feet. The suit is holding. Now, we are about to cut his line to see whether or not he gets the squeeze. All right, you guys ready to cut the line and see what happens?
Yeah.
Ready in 3, 2, 1. The helmet looked like it actually collapsed. Oh my God, his head, you cannot even see it because it's filled with blood and flesh. I can't believe it. It worked. Oh my gosh.
Yep, the effect of the cut hose was less than instantaneous. But once the air pressure was exhausted, physics took over, and the drastic pressure differential pushed Meatman into his helmet, exactly as the myth predicted.
I don't even think we need to bring him up.
No. Just leave him down there.
Wow.
Look at that.
That was
Look
gonna
at those
happen.
sight glasses.
That's amazing.
You can't even see in the helmet anymore because it's covered with flesh and blood.
It was like he exploded right into it.
Yeah, the helmet.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Who's gonna clean the suit?
Not it.
And a closer inspection of our diver reveals the kind of damage 135 pounds of pressure per square inch can do.
Oh, wow! Oh my God! We totally caved the helmet in!
Look at all the guts in there.
His stomach is inside his helmet.
Just by the side of the helmet, look at that.
Dude,
Could you imagine that pressure?
that is absolutely confirmed. No doubt about it.
Totally confirmed. Okay, so I definitely expected the juices to be flowing, but I didn't expect to see them like slowly rise up through the helmet. And then blah, where everything just, it was like an explosion inside the suit. Completely unexpected, but totally awesome.
Now, the name of this game is differential pressure. They can withstand a huge amount of pressure when they're equalized. But the second you take away all the pressure on the inside, crush. You can see, this is what's left.
I saw it with my own eyes. I still can't believe this actually happened. This one is completely confirmed.
I'm sorry, Meatman, but it was totally worth it.
You guys ready to get out of here?
Yeah, let's go home.
All right, Jim, take us home.